Some of these questions, guys, hurt me. Patrick, how does this law take guns out of the hands of criminals? It doesn't. Criminals be criminalizing. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to go put that in a t-shirt. Welcome to Lock and Load Podcast. My name's Josh. We talk to you about Connecticut 2A issues. So, as you see in the title in this video, we are talking about HB 5043 again, why it has been officially signed by our wonderful King Ned. So, what does that mean? It's law now. It is now officially Public Act 2641. So they changed the House bill, which is what HB means, into public acts once they are signed into law. What we will probably refer to as the Glock Ban. Now, it is not just Glocks. Glock-like clones, and anything with a cruciform trigger bar that is readily convertible. Now, we've talked about this before, so if you're seeing this for the first time, definitely check out previous episodes when it passed the House and the Senate, and we really dive into the bill there. But today, I put out on Facebook yesterday when it passed, and then I put up a separate post in the evening to ask your questions. So this is going to be a Q&A about HB 5043, and we're going to go, and I'm clicking right here on Facebook. We're going to go all comments, and there are some comments on here. Now, I want to first point out that our original post telling you guys it passed, signed by good old Ned, it's 16,000 views so far. Imagine if 16,000 people wrote testimony or showed up at the Capitol. Would this bill have passed? Maybe not. Make sure you get out there and vote, guys. This one, the question one, has about 7,000 views right now. And we got about 60-ish questions. We're not going to go through them all here. Some are some interesting things. And I don't really delete comments unless they're like super negative or rude to other people. So they'll be up there. So Lock and Load Firearms LLC on Facebook. 37,000 followers. Go and follow us. All right. So we're going to start off. We'll just use the first names of these people. Andrew, quote, they say it's 10/1/26 and after ban. So a gun store is going to have to search for pre-ban builds. Also, how is the state going to verify an eligibility of a manufacturing date? How does this affect carrying one as a concealed carry holder? Well, let's first start off with the concealed carry. It has no effect on you carrying a firearm. There was nothing in the bill about that. So there's that. The state's not going to verify anything. It's on the FFL. And how our store is going to do that? Yeah, that's a wonderful question. Personally, what we're probably going to do here, especially on like a trade-in aspect, if I can verify, like I sold the gun, like if you're coming back and you're selling me your firearm or something, then I can verify when it was in my bound book. But if you bought it at ABC gun store and you're coming to sell it here, how do I verify that it was truly a pre-October 1? Well, I have to do what's called a born date, and we have to email Glock for that. So it's not going to be a quick turnaround time is the short answer to that. When you're looking to sell a gun or trade in a gun, it's going to be kind of a delay, and I'm not taking possession of that firearm until I verify it. Going on, Rob says, do you think they'll try to make us turn them in? I mean, it's Connecticut. The bill says no. The bill says there's no registration. There's nothing like the 2023 CT others where you had to register them or the 2012 original assault weapon ban. Alex, this has been asked a few times. If Glock made the Glock Performance Trigger Group standard, would this loophole the ban because it's not a cruciform style trigger bar? In my opinion, and again, none of this is legal advice. Let me go put this out there. In my opinion, possibly. So the Performance Center trigger system for Glocks do not have a cruciform in the trigger bar, in my opinion. So, but they're not standard, so we'll see what happens. So if you have one, Mike asks, if you have one after the ban, can you sell it? If you have one before the ban and you want to sell it after the ban, yes, I do believe the pre-ban market will be there. So we'll see what happens with that. Carrying a Glock. Kanata asks, carrying a Glock after the ban, will it be legal or illegal? Legal. Short answer. Brian, would love to see someone compile a list of actual guns with this trigger. I know Smith & Wesson SD9 has it. I know that Glock clones do, but what other handguns have that? So this was actually an amendment that was brought up by State Senator Rob Sampson and Senator Winfield, and all the Dems voted against it for the state to come up with a list. Now, you can use AI, but AI is not correct. We've pulled from AI. Todd is pulled from AI, and we can tell you that that list is not A, 100%, or B, 100% perfect. We do know that we took apart a SAR the other day, an SAR-SC, and those do have cruciform trigger bars. The rep that was trying to sell a SAR did not even know that. So if the Glock ban is similar to California AB 1127, what other pistols are going to be banned? Does CT have an actual list? CT does not have a list. And any gun that is quote unquote readily convertible with common household tools, and they list the tools in the bill. So Glock and Glock-like clones at the moment. Will you still be able to purchase accessories once the ban on Glocks goes into full effect? Yes, that part of that bill, there were two bills, HB 5043, and the other bill numbers eluded me at this point because it did not pass. Michelle and I will probably do like a wrap-up video of the session. We've just been really busy, and we had a lot of political stuff going on, but that bill did not pass, so the Glock slides, barrels, and cylinders, any slide, any barrel, and any cylinder, that portion of that bill did not make it out of committee, so yes, you can still purchase things. Is the V model still going to be for sale after 10-1? Unknown at this point. We will let you know when we know. Hugo, let's say if my dog chewed up the actual frame, would I be able to repair or get repaired? Could the serial number be transferred to a different frame, or would I just be out of a Glock and have to switch to a Sig or a Smith? Hugo, I have an answer for that, actually. I didn't use the dog chewing on my gun method. That's some interesting stippling there, but yeah, once a frame is cracked on a Glock, it's done. What Glock would probably do for warranty is you would send that in, and hypothetically here, and they would probably send you a new frame. But that frame, let's say this is October 2nd, would be made after October 2nd, most likely, October 1st, most likely, and then would not be legal. So you were kind of up Poops Creek without a paddle in your scenario. Kyle, if an FFL with a gunsmith were legally modifying a pistol equipment with a cruciform trigger bar to no longer accept a Glock style switch, would it make it CT legal? I'm not an FFL with a gunsmith, nor am I a manufacturer, which is the more important part there. Maybe, but the language says import, so that's a little bit of a problem. How would one determine the dates of manufacture? I covered that earlier. This is John. As an out-of-state FFL, can I ship Glocks into Connecticut? I wouldn't after October 1st. Unless you can verify they're made prior to that and send proof of that. Jack, how would this affect moving to Connecticut from another state if you had a Glock after the ban and move here? Would you still have to sell it or buy a pre-ban? So if you're moving from Florida, let's say, to Connecticut, with a gun made after October 1st, is it illegal? Maybe. I think so, according to the bill. How does one prove that? I had a conversation with a police officer the other day, and there's no way for them to look that up. Like when they do, when they run your firearm to make sure, in a traffic stop or something, they're running the serial number to make sure it's not stolen. In that aspect, there's no way to look up when the gun was manufactured. They'd have to do a trace. It's called an ATF trace. And that takes days to come back. So I really don't know on that one, I guess. Brett, can you just buy the lower frame as an other? Yes. Complicated answer, complicated question. Well, simplest answer there. Yes is the answer. In Connecticut, if it's not a handgun or revolver, and it's not a long gun, we check this other box called other. A frame, a receiver are others, not CT others that were ARs, so don't get confused with that if you know what those are. That was bad terminology on the gun industry's part. But yes, you can buy frames up until. So right now we're selling SCT frames, pretty affordable frames, really nice stippling actually. They're Gen 3 clones and 43X clones. They're pretty good. Adam, so similar to Glock guns, will it be it the takedown not affected? Kind of confused on that one. I'm sorry, Adam. Kyle, what pistols are on the list? We don't have a list. Would like to see a list. Sorry, Rich, don't have a list. Can I still buy Glock-compatible parts online? I guess so, if they ship them here. PSA won't. Is this going to court? Says Rob. Probably. Hopefully. And not against Rob here, but you guys got to go and contact these organizations. Contact CCDL, contact GOA, contact NSSF, contact the NRA ILA. Call them. If you're members with them, call them, annoy them, ask them for help. John, ask why they say Glock ban when it's a cruciform ban. John, you know, that's just going to take me too much time to explain that one, John. Pedro, sorry I'm late to the party. Is this ban effective from the moment he signs it, or is there a time frame? Prior to October 1st. October 1st is the effective date of this bill. So you can go buy anything right now as the time of this getting posted in the end of May. If you're watching this past October 1st, no. And you're really late to the party. Joe, questions that can't be answered, I'm sure. Such as, what firearms are on the list? There is no list. Although it would be cool to put a list of the top 20 firearms. I'm a P10 guy, not a Kelly Glock Ban. Okay. Matt, I understand they're going after the cruciform trigger bar. How is it that they're actually going to affect what we see in a gun store display cases? Will we still have firearms that basically function the exact same? Glocks use a cruciform trigger bar. So do other guns too, right? We know the SAR firearms do at the moment. We know the old SDs do. I don't know if the 2.0s do. Honestly, Nick and I one day in the coming weeks is going to go and take apart some guns and go and try to get a list. But if they have a cruciform trigger bar and they're easily convertible, and there you go. Tom says, what gun? These clips are going to be fun. All right. Nikolai. He's a customer here. I actually have a few questions. What does this mean for current Glock owners long-term? Buy more Glocks prior to October. Nothing. Keep your Glocks. If you decide to sell a Glock down the road, what happens? Oh, I kind of went over this in the beginning, but prove that it's prior to October 1st, 2026. What happens if your Glock breaks? Well, if the frame breaks, you're up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. Otherwise, the other parts are fine. How is it legal for the government to try forcing Glocks to change their products when Glock hasn't done anything illegal? They manufacture a legal product to millions of law-abiding citizens, owned responsibly. This feels less about safety and more about control. What companies are allowed to make it? I don't have to answer the fourth question. Thanks. It's not illegal. It's not legal. Bruin and Heller both say this is illegal. All right. Jeremy, are there any U-Haul trucks left? No. Is the FRT legal in Connecticut? Antonio asks. No. Some of these questions, guys, hurt me. Patrick, how does this law take guns out of the hands of criminals? It doesn't. Criminals be criminalizing. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to go put that in a t-shirt. Harry, y'all need to live in a free state like we do in the South. It doesn't say there was an accent there, but I imagined that there was an accent. Okay, Harry. Rob, can you still purchase parts? What if you need a new barrel from a bad round? Yes, that has no effect. That bill did not pass. Charlie, any luck it won't stick along with Fazio in the House? Fazio in the governor's mansion, not the House. We're going to want him in the House of the Senate. We want him in the governor's mansion. But yes, can we still buy replacement parts? Is there a list? Our Gen 6 is okay, asked by Mr. Mark. I don't know. If 6s are, then Vs are, but I don't know. We're waiting on our lawyer. Will this affect other guns, such as Sigger, Smith & Wesson? Where's the list? Again, no list. Tim, can we still tar and feather corrupt politicians like they did in the good old days? Not advocating for violence. Greg, move into Connecticut with one after October 1st. Then you have to ... question mark. Get a lawyer. Get a lawyer. There's some other ones here. Okay. Not ones I'm going to repeat on social media. Hey, Josh, I got a two-part question. Why is your state so lame? Democrats. How much lamer are they going to get? I don't know. Go out and vote these idiots out. How will this be used moving forward on all striker fire pistols? Seems it's going that way. Yeah. So we talked about this in one of the roundtables, and Rhode Island has a bill proposed right now. They banned assault weapons back a couple of years ago, but you can still possess them. Now they're taking out the word possession. So anyone that does possess them is now illegal if that bill goes through. It's the same thing that I've been saying with this one. They really harp on cruciform trigger bar. Well, what if we take out the word cruciform? Now anything with a trigger bar. Now if we take out the word bar, anything with a trigger is now illegal. 2 words, you ban every gun ever. Can we bully Lamont out of office? You can. November 4th, vote for Ryan Fazio. That is my answer to that question. November 3rd. Jeez, November 3rd, not 4th. 4th is too late. Sorry. So those were a majority of the questions. Obviously not every question in there, because some are just, we'll say, not appropriate for YouTube or Facebook or social media or for me to read. But that is the answers I have thus far on HB 5043. In the coming weeks, we will be doing another roundtable with Todd, Michelle, and Derek, and then be doing a lot of interviews. Michelle and I have a lot of people lined up. Michelle and I are going to talk post-election or post-GOP convention. Some of you will find it pretty interesting. Some of you probably won't, and that's okay. You don't need to watch it. But I'm sure some of the viewers will as well. So if you guys have more questions, drop them in the comments below wherever you're seeing this. Make sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. And wherever the heck you're seeing this, Spotify, Amazon Music, Alexa, I'm sure there's more places. But make sure you guys drop a follow, subscribe, like, and we got plenty of Glocks in stock at Lock and Load Firearms in Southington. I got Gen 6s, we got 43Xs, we got a lot of stuff, guys. So come get them before you can't, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Lock and Load Podcast is sponsored by Lock and Load Firearms, Connecticut's #1 rated gun store and pistol permit class on Google. Come check us out, 1573 Meriden Waterbury Turnpike in Southington. Lock and Load Firearms.
Lock and Load Podcast is also sponsored by Patriot Wear Holsters, custom-made Kydex holsters locally made in Waterbury, Connecticut. www.patriotwearholster.com and use code LNL Podcast for 10% off your purchase. Orders available for shipping or pickup at various locations.